Okay, hello, second graders. Today we're working on lesson 7-6. They're going to be asking us to use reasoning to rather write problems, or I'm sorry, rather than solve problems, to write problems on our own. And we're going to find that on page 421. So if you can please take out your book, I'm going to share my workspace with you here. So you can see we're on lesson 7-6. 7-6, page 421 there. And then I can see Marta on this page as well. Her workspace is here. Looks like she's in a bat cave, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and read and find out what she's sharing. It says, write a number story for this equation. 20 equals blank plus blank. Then complete the equation to match your story. Okay, so really we have a lot of room for being unique here and writing our own stories. There's two things that we want to think about before we begin to write. One is what my equation is going to be and what my numbers in my story are going to be. So I know right now that whatever story I write, I have to equal 20. Right? I can have many different combinations that equal 20. So if I think about all the combinations I can that equal 20, well, I know 0 plus 20 equals 20. I know 1 plus 19 equals 20. I know 2 plus, that's right, 18 equals 20. I know 3 plus 17 equals 20. I know 4 plus 16 equals 20. I know 5 plus 15 equals 20. I know 6 plus 17. No, I'm sorry. I lost track of where I was. I know 6 plus 14. Let me correct that. 6 plus 14 equals 20. I know 7 plus 13 equals 20. I know 8 plus 12 equals 20. I know 9, and that's really hard to see. I don't know if another color will help because that's dark. But I know 9 plus 11 equals 20, and I know 10 plus 10 equals 20. Okay, so if I think about it that way, there's many combinations that I can use. So you're just going to pick one, okay? And I think for this first one, it'd be great if we could choose one together, okay? So what if we go somewhere in the middle and we do 4 plus 16? I'm going to write that here in my equation, 4 plus 16, okay? Now, that's the first step, is deciding what numbers you're going to be using. The second step is to decide what the subject of your story is going to be. Now, I'm noticing here they give us a really nice visual in a cave with bats. So we can write a story about bats, can't we? I know a couple of things about bats. I know they like to fly, and I know they like to hang down upside down when they're not in flight, when they're sleeping. Okay, so we could use those two distinguishing features to talk about the different amounts of bats that we're going to be adding in order to get to 20. Okay, so it could sound something like this. 4 bats are flying, right? 4 bats are flying. So that takes care. 4 bats are flying. That takes care of my first add-in. Okay, and put a period there. 16 bats are sleeping. 16 bats are sleeping. Are sleeping. Good. So I'm going to start with the word sleep and add that ing. Okay. And to end with, I need to ask the question that's going to help my reader to solve, which is how many bats are in the cave, right? Or I could ask, how many bats in all. Either one would work. Let's see, how many bats are in the cave? I could also say how many bats altogether. That's another way I could word. How many bats are in the, I'm writing cave. Okay, all right, and that would be my story to match my equation, and it equals 20. So if you need more time with this, you can go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and turn to the next page. At the top of those green boxes, you can see they're talking more about number stories. So it says, write a number story for 68, take away 33. All right, so this time we're subtracting. Then write an equation to match your story. So the first question is, how can I show what numbers and symbols mean? And Marta says, I think about what 68, 33, and the minus sign mean in the problem. I can use that to write a story. So here's what her story ends up being. Harry finds 68 acorns. So remember, we talked about we need to figure out the numbers, first of all, and then we need to figure out what our story is going to be about. So you can see she chose to write about acorns. Harry finds 68 acorns. He gives 33 acorns to Joyce. How many acorns does Harry have left? Okay, so then she writes her equation, 68 minus 33 equals something. The last box, subtract to answer the question in the problem. So she has 68 minus 33. So when you do the subtraction there, she ends up with 35. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at the guided practice. They're asking us to complete the number story, then complete the equation to match the story, and draw a picture to help if needed. So here we go. My equation is 47, take away 18 equals something. Okay, and in this case, they decide to talk about cans. And they know they have to figure out a way to start with 47 cans and then take away 18 of them. So here's what we have. Blake collects 47 cans. He recycles 18 cans. Okay, so that's how they had 18 of them get taken away. He recycled them. The question is, how many cans does Blake have now? So we have 47, take away 18 written here. In order to solve, I'm going to go ahead and use the lining up strategy. Right, and you can do that also in your blank space here. 7 minus 8 I can't do, so I'm going to borrow a 10. That will now become 3 10s, and I'm going to take that 10 that I borrowed and add it to the 7, so that now becomes 17. So 17 minus 8 gives me 9, and 3 minus 1 gives me 2, for a difference of 29. So now he has 29 cans. Okay, all right, so when you look ahead to your independent practice, notice that they're going to be asking you to be the author of the number stories. So it says, write a number story to show the problem, complete the equation to match your story. Okay, so let's take a look at number 2. I know the numbers in my story need to start with 22. Somehow we're going to need to take away 17. So think about your story. And then the second thing you want to think about is, what is your story going to be about, right? Maybe you want to write a story about cars, and you have 22 cars in a parking lot and 17 drive away. That would be one idea, right? Maybe you want to talk about animals. You have 22 cats at an adoption center and 17 cats get adopted, right? That's another way that you can show a takeaway problem. Maybe you want to talk about strawberries. You have 22 strawberries in a basket, and my friend and I eat 17. How many strawberries are left, right? So those are some examples of ways that you can think about the numbers that you're using, and then what subject or topic you can use in your story to illustrate those numbers and come up with a number story, right? That's what you're going to be doing for today for math. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I will be seeing you very soon, but until then, take care. Okay, bye.